welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So I'm Nene, and today I have Jerome and Reese with me. So we will be doing a recap on the season premiere of Life After Lockup. Right? Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and jump on in with our first couple. So our first couple is going to be Blaine and Lindsay. Okay, so we saw Blaine and Lindsay, their relationship develop on last season when she was actually dating Deontay. So now, Deontay's out the picture. They are a full blown couple. I think she said they have been together 8 or 9 months. And we see they're walking around. We see them shop for paint because apparently they purchased a new home together. Well, they purchased a home together. And so they were shopping for some paint for their new place. And then we find out that they had an appointment to go see a lawyer. So they're actually going to see a lawyer, not for Lindsay's outstanding warrants, but for Blaine. Apparently, Blaine has some outstanding warrants that Lindsay didn't know about. He also has some other charges that he never revealed to her, including he has a couple of charges for being a habitual criminal. So she explained that to us what all that entails. Blaine is looking at having to do a lot of years, and the lawyer is saying in order for him to touch the case, he just need $15,000. So Lindsay, of course, he's hearing all of this. She's getting upset. She actually storms out of the lawyer's office, and so Blaine finished his conversation with the lawyer, and he heads outside. But Lindsay won't talk to him. He's driving down the street. She's walking on the sidewalk. She just doesn't want to talk to him at this point, which is crazy. And she even brought up Deontay, like, well, I chose you. I left Deontay. He was in debt, but you got all these charges. She said something to that effect. All right. And she just doesn't want to hear what Blaine has to say. Okay. Thoughts on Lindsay and Blaine this week?
Well, I want to say first, I feel so bad for Lindsay. I mean, she seemed like a really good person, and she sat here and yeah, right. You made your choice, and here's what you.
Have you ever
seen? You sat here and you really chose the person that you figured that had a little more of an edge to him, and because Deontay really did care about it. And he would have done almost any and everything. It's not that he wasn't dead. He was, I guess, more broke struggling wise. He was getting there. He had all the opportunities to be there, to be great, just to sit by him and work with him. But now she sat here and chosen someone where they pick a place to fix up and they've invested all their money into. So if he was doing so much better financially, why are we getting a fixer-upper that's really a fixer-upper to get it done? And then you got married without even, you didn't fully know, you fully knew Deontay better than you knew Blaine. Now you sitting here, now you're finding out stuff, but you done made this big leap because you jumped off of feeling and emotion. So I really feel like she is more upset, not just with him, but she's more disappointed, upset with herself for the decision that she made. And it's like, now I've messed this up. Now here I am. Why didn't I know this? And she's probably just kicking herself for making another decision that should have been made. As far as the lawyer goes, how you plan on getting this done when you already having troubles just trying to do the basic stuff at this point? And as far as he goes, like, he is just like, oh well.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he felt affected really by what was going on. He was just sitting there listening, and I'm like, I don't know how he's able to stay so calm. I'd be freaking out at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think he's taking, pun intended, the Michael approach. Like, put it in God's hands, but it's not going to work that way with this.
Him and Michael are thinking the same way. Okay.
Yes,
that could be it. Hey, Reese, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. So, wait, they married?
No, they're not married.
Oh, okay. Oh. I like you said married. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I missed something. But yeah. So I feel like she messed up. Like, you chose somebody who you might ain't get spend no time with, because if he goes to jail, that's a long time. Plus, don't she still got warrants that she might even still go to jail?
Yes, she still has warrants.
Yeah. So yeah, like if that's the case, like yeah, but actually Deontay won in this because he got out of it. Because if she go to jail, he would have lost his girlfriend. Now they gonna lose each other and whatever. The biggest loser is the daughter because she getting pulled into this, and now you know what I'm saying she trying to make this like stable situation for her daughter, but now it's looking like it may not be so stable. And then the fixer up, I want to see what the inside of that thing look like because that look a hot mess on the house. It's huge, which means it could have potential, but on the outside, I'm like, ooh. It looked like, yeah. Like I wonder how much they pay for that. Because I'm like, but
Get somebody
I'm
else.
thinking the reason he was so calm though is because you know he already knew the charges. Obviously, he just didn't tell her, so he just want to know like. I think his biggest thing was okay. How much is it going to cost for you to help me? Pretty much, and they were like 15,000, and I guess he probably like it's my life, so I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And he probably will, but it doesn't mean that even if you pay him 15,000, it ain't guaranteed he'll get him off because, like you said, he got habitual charges, meaning the courts feel like you're not gonna change, you're gonna keep committing crimes, so why not just put you in for however long, you know, the max, to keep you out the streets. I feel like I ain't seen much of him, and a little bit I've seen, I feel like he's changed, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that because even Lindsay was like, she made a little comment like, normally, you know, when things like this happen, she goes and does something crazy, and the crazy thing gets her in trouble. So I don't even know if she's 100% changed either. You know what I mean? Like, is she gonna get in trouble if he does go to jail? You know, or you know, like what? Who's gonna keep her straight if she's saying that's the reason she's done well is him? He goes away, but I don't know. It's we really don't have enough information to see what's going to happen. So I guess we're just gonna see this season. But I think my favorite part was when he hit her with the he didn't say less, but when she was like walking and he's like, so you just gonna walk to the you gonna walk back to the trailer? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna walk back. He like, say no more. Like, dang, he hit her with the say less and drove off. I was like, dang. But at the end of the day, like, you know, as much as that might have seemed hard, he did try like 3 times to stop her. He yelled, Lizzie, come on, get in the car. Pulled up, said, get in the car. Turned around sideways, said, get in the car. Drove up, like, come on, get in the car. You being crazy. You gonna walk back? Yeah.
Did
All right.
you
Then
catch when she was like, "You can't park on the sidewalk"? He was like, "I don't care." She was like, "Clearly, you don't care about breaking the laws. Neither one of you do." I mean,
yeah. Like if she was some good girl who didn't have a criminal past herself and was
didn't
saying,
have current warrants. How
yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
that's what I'm saying. And you talking about you treating him like you thought he was this amazing guy who never been in trouble, and now you finding out, oh no, he's lied to me. He's actually a criminal. No, you both are criminals, and you both been criminals. So you know you wouldn't go into no lawyer to see what his little charge was for nothing. Because if it was a nothing charge, you probably wouldn't even need a lawyer. So I mean, I would have went in there not expecting good news if we had to go see a lawyer. That's one. Um, and yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Like I said, like he said, say less, Lindsay. Get yourself to that. Then her dumb, but I would have just sat in there with attitude. And when he got me to the trailer, then I would have went to I don't know what it's like inside, but would have went to another part of the trailer because I just can't imagine what's going on inside. But I just would have went somewhere because I wouldn't have walked home in them shoes. Like
Yeah,
you
she was
got on a
already
little heel.
complaining about that they were hurting her feet.
That's what I'm saying. And then at one point she's sitting on the ground. I was like, girl, close your legs. I mean, they were closed, but you still that was too much. I was like, what is she doing? You know, you
But
don't.
see, the difference is she is a criminal. He is a habitual.
She's a habitual too. Just she gotta. We gonna see. Look, we
I
just
think they
don't
just
know.
haven't put habitual before her charges.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Right. No, I was
But
trying to help her out. That's all.
no, she goes. She's been to jail a few times. Like she ain't just one time. Like she been in and out of jail too. So
Yeah, but we ain't
she's no
counting all
better
that.
than him. I know.
Leave that.
That she trying to have a better life and this and that, and he's ruining it. But
Look,
you chose
Racy,
another
she
criminal.
she has forgotten about her past. Let's let her forget about that
Yeah,
past.
but that's the difference that everybody else doesn't choose a criminal to date. Well, outside of puppy them, but they don't choose a criminal to date. Typically, they'll find
Mm-hmm.
a regular person, and then this is how they're starting over, not with another criminal. So your life was going to be weird anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this dream life, and that's where Let me shut up. Let me stop. I really want to see what this is because you know what? Sorry, because that trailer threw me off. But it's huge, so I'm hoping that it's really something that they can like gut it and really make it really nice because they do their own construction. But I've seen stuff that look like garbage on the outside, and when you walk in, you like, are you serious? This is a hidden gem. So I'm hoping that's what they got because that's
Yeah.
crazy. I wouldn't even put that on TV unless it's a hidden gem on the inside. Is that too mean?
A little bit, but I get what you're saying.
Well, it's a fixer upper. So I mean, and that's a good thing. They do their own construction, so they're gonna save a ton of money. But I just want them to see it because I'm like, I just can't see it from the outside.
Yeah, I get it. All right. So next we have Jerome's favorite couple, Monique and Derek. All right. So we see Derek is shopping and he's out with his two sisters and he is trying to find a makeup gift for Monique because he has revealed he cheated on her. And he now is he's wanting to make up with her, so he's trying to buy her a gift. His sisters are acting like clowns as usual. You know, everything he picks up, they got some way to insult Monique and also tell him not to buy it at the same time. Like he had picked up some perfume and they were like, you need to get a smaller bottle because she doesn't deserve this size. And then it was like, well, look at this vest. Oh, you need two of these vests, one for each breast or whatever. It was just constant insults, throwing digs at Monique the whole time. And so he ended up buying her some candles and some other things. I didn't see what else it was, but you can see it was several other things. Okay. So Monique lets us know that they haven't seen each other in over a month. And so she's planning a trip to go and see him. All right. And so we see her and her sister riding in the car, and she's basically telling her sister how she found out that Derek was cheating on her. And her sister tells her, you know, you did the most to figure this out. Like you're doing too much, which is the truth. Because if I got to do all of this, do I really need to be with you? I got to go through phone records, listening to voices, do it. It's just way too much. It's just too much. All right. And so they end up meeting up, and he gives her her gifts. They sit down and they have a talk. And then Monique springs that she's late. She might be pregnant. I don't know, but she may be telling the truth, but I was kind of getting the vibes that she wasn't, that this was like a ploy to find out how he would react, or I don't really know what she was really expecting, but she did say he didn't react in the way that she was hoping that he would. All right. Thoughts on Monique and Derek this week?
Man, are you going?
Oh no, please, ladies
Okay.
first.
Yeah. So she already revealed he cheated, so I don't know what he's revealing it for because she already revealed it at the end of last season,
Yeah.
which was what, a couple days ago. And he so okay, so the sisters, because that's who started the episode, or that's who started their segment. I was real disappointed in the I don't know if she's a younger one or the cis female sister. um the cis woman sister. So I don't know if um I don't get her because I know like the transgender sister, she's always been like super mean. So I expected her to act like that. And I felt like the other one would kind of tag on, but then she was the one being the most this time. And then when they were like, when she said, hey, hey, how are tell them I said, hey, and they were like, tell them hoes I said, hey. I'm like, yeah, I know she didn't say that.
Yeah,
Like,
they know that.
because I even rewinded that because I was like, I don't think so. And when I rewinded it, even had the subtitles on there too. So I'm like, man, y'all full of it. Like to me, that's just like, and Monique is trying because she could have easily been like, I don't tell them Jose, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't. She just said, tell them I said hello. And they still took it to that level after they didn't sat and dog the girl, knowing she gonna see this stuff on TV. So I don't know, like it. And then when even at the end when he was telling her like he just kind of tired of like all the how she's acting, the sisters acting this and that. But I'm like, but you don't stop the sisters. It's like he just be like sitting there either like come on now, come on, or they don't show his face, so you don't know if he's smiling or laughing or not sometimes. And then it's like he just not checking them or stopping them. Cause I'm like, he'll tell them like, I love her, this I'm gonna be with, whatever. But I feel like in the middle of that, like, check them, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Be like, okay, if y'all got a problem with this, then bye. I don't need your help. I'm sure they'll chill out if they realize like, okay, he gonna stop fooling with us if we don't really stop. But they're not. He's not giving them a reason to stop, and that's bothering me with him. And then Monique, I agree to do all of that she had to do to catch him cheating. It's too much. And I'd even say because I've kind of been in a similar situation where I felt like I was doing too much to find out the truth on somebody that had cheated on me, and I'm like, of all that I had did, I'm like, when I look back, I'm like, if I had to do all that to find out, then was I even in a happy relationship? Because if you really got to like set up cameras, check phone records, check messages, screenshot stuff, do you know what I'm saying? Save things so that you can bring it up or show somebody or prove a point or have evidence, all of that stuff. Like to me, if you got to do all of that, you kind of got to step back and question your relationship. But I know when you're in those type of relationships, you don't see that yourself, even if people tell you to. Like say it like her sisters and them did, or her friends and sisters did. But yeah. So I mean, and then about the pregnancy part, I don't know. A piece of me thinks she might have really be late. Doesn't mean she's pregnant because it'll probably be just like, oh girl, like she's been
Ashley. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like because he's stressing her out, like so she could be in the same boat, like dealing with the stress of everything that happened when they kind of had split up for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All of that could be anything to slow her cycle down. So she probably just stressed and not pregnant. But if she is pregnant, I would like to see how he can respond if she is pregnant. But a piece of me probably thinks that she may not be, or probably isn't. But because so far, only 2 people in the history of the show. No, actually 4. 4 actual pregnancies when they thought they was pregnant that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, well, starting off with the sisters. I mean, going into the place, first you find out he cheated. He wants to have a makeup gift. Well, with the mindset he has, and that he's going to pick up candles and finding, and me learning now that all you got to do is buy some candles and some flowers for cheating right after being married. Cheating name might not be so hard a thing to deal with. No, it should have been a lot more. I think the route he went was very cheap. That is not forgiveness. With the sisters in there, I'm just so tired of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thing one and it two was just really irking my nerves, and I'm mad at him. Like when Reese said earlier about how he was saying he's getting tired of them. Monique is reacting to the sisters. She even came when the phone call was first made, was even sitting there like, my sister said hey, and they didn't even say hey, and they sitting there making gestures and stabbing at the phone and doing crazy
Yeah.
stuff. And she
Real
said
immature.
very immature, and even Monique still then was like, hey, how you doing? No disrespect, none in that. Out of everything that was said and done, and they still came through. Oh, he said ho. I'm like, she didn't even say that, and then she responded then and said something. Oh, she said something. Oh, y'all mad? Y'all reacting to because she reacted to what y'all did, and he doesn't say anything about it. I fought him at this point because at no point does he. I understand that's your family, but if this is the person that you love and want to marry, and I mean that you married, you need to check your family, especially if your wife is not doing anything wrong
Yeah,
to try to provoke any of them.
we've also watched these sisters threaten to kill Monique, and he said
Yes.
nothing. He just let it fly.
yeah,
Like,
like don't worry about them.
mhm.
And if that was anybody, and if that was almost any other woman, it would have already turned in the fisticuffs and everything else at this point. So he should be thankful because that's enough there that would have drove any other. And I could even ask y'all if that was y'all in any of these cases, and his sister was talking like this. I'm pretty sure y'all have already been at their necks by now. Not like, oh hey, how y'all doing?
The situation would have been handled. Yeah.
Yes.
That first time I got threatened talking about slapping me,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been handled. She wouldn't even made it to the level of being okay with talking about she was gonna unalive me. It just wouldn't
Right.
have happened. And that's with or without his support. But guess what? Without his support, we would have been over with. You know.
Right. And that's my thing is that for Monique, this is what makes me sad about Monique is that I don't know if it's because how she feels about herself, but that's a lot to put up with
Right.
and still be with him. I'm very disappointed in him. As far as going forth, when they met up and he was saying he's sorry, I don't like it when people try to, yeah, I know I messed up. Let's go ahead and move past this, whatever. Bye. Now, true enough, no one should linger on it, but something that big, it shouldn't be up to you to decide. It's the person who did it to decide that, okay, let it be, shut up, don't want to talk about it.
Right.
It should be up to the person that got wrong because they did nothing to deserve that.
Let me wallow.
Right.
She did for however long it takes me.
Right. You didn't have no problem. You didn't worry about my feelings beforehand. Now you want me to worry about your feelings because how I react makes you feel bad? Nah. And if you can't, that's a whole part of earning trust is seeing how well you'll be there. And so he did not seem genuine. I really feels like he is really here just for the case of she cares about him the most. He loves what she does for him, not love her. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, when she said she was pregnant, I don't know if she is or she isn't. Well, one, I think, before I forget that, she's too forgiving. She's like, I know you cheated and I feel bad, but we can go back to this hotel, though, and consummate. Just so quickly. And his reaction, when she told her secret, and his reaction was just like, I didn't want this. It's like I wanted to be taken care of, want somebody to look after me.
It's funny you say that because I did forget to mention this, and I wanted to mention this. Do y'all remember when he told her he wanted to give her that family that she wanted and stuff like that? And then here we go. I don't know how much time has elapsed, with these cameras and stuff. But then here you go. You find out you may be about to have that family with her. But you weren't all happy. You weren't singing the same tune you were singing earlier in the scene.
Yes. Now all of a sudden it's like I ain't mean that for real. I was just talking about for play. I ain't mean for real. The family, I mean husband and wife. I ain't mean kids. You're getting too technical now. But that's not. But yeah, that's exactly how he was acting. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not feeling him at all. I hope at some point Monique can see her worth and find it from there, and that them sisters find Jesus.
All right, Reese. See?
Oh, I said mine about them.
Oh,
Remember, I went first.
I'm so afraid because I did skip Jerome this week. So I make sure I don't skip anybody. All righty. So Justine and Michael was the next couple. All right. And so we see Michael and Justine, they're taking the kids and her mom to a self-defense course. And so we see the kids, interacting with the instructor. We see Michael interacting with the instructor. Of course, Justine is pregnant, so she can't do it. But we see that her and her mom, they have a sit down, they have like a heart to heart talk, which I did enjoy watching. And, she's kind of telling her mom that she doesn't fully trust Michael, but it's because of all the things that she's gone through in the past with men. And her mom is reiterating, you should have thought about that before you had a baby. But she's just like, she has been kind of tricked by the intentions of men in the past where they'll behave one way and then they change. So she's just really worried about that. But what kind of shocked me was we later see that her and Michael are, first of all, I just can't hold this back. I'm getting a little tired of their matching outfits. Them matching like they're both construction workers.
Say that. I was gonna say
that. Yeah, that was ugly.
I was about to say that too. Mm-hmm.
It really got on my nerves watching them both walk down the street looking like Bob the Builder. I was annoyed, but whatever. And so they have a heart to heart where she basically says the same thing she says to her mom to Michael, and Michael's like, but that kind of hurts my feelings. Which I totally understand why that would hurt his feelings if he's putting in what he has to give into this relationship, and she's telling you, but I'm scared of you. That would upset anybody, I think. But then she finally really broke it down to him, like, in the past, I have trusted men, and I found myself hungry, found myself without a roof over my head, and different things of this nature. And she actually breaks down and starts crying. So then he reassures her that those are things she is not going to have to worry about with him, and that he's already been showing her that that is not some things that she is going to have to worry about from him.
Mhm.
All right, and so that was them basically this week. Thoughts on Justine and Michael?
Well, I was just about to say I just realized that Justine had to quit her job because they had matching jobs working for the city. Um, that I saw that when I looked ahead on Reddit. No, I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. That ain't happening. But that's what I thought when I saw the outfits. I thought they worked. I thought they work was cleaning up or something. Um,
I didn't realize civilians could just buy those jackets. I thought you had to work for the city or something to get those. I don't
maybe that's where he worked at in the past and still had them left over. But the shoes match too, so maybe not.
know.
But I like the idea that he took with the kids. I like the conversation about like taking the kids out and doing stuff together. And I understood the conversation when he talked about how you worried about if you get this blended family, if you're going to treat your kid better than mine, or when we have a kid together, that the kid we have together will get better treatment, attention than the kids that are not biologically yours. And you do run into that. And so that is a genuine concern. But I can understand on his part if you felt like I wasn't the guys from before. And I think I've come through. I mean, I sit here every day, talk to you, got you a car in the house. I don't I think I'm trying to show any and everything to show that I'm here. And I get why she's worried, but that's why also too when I agree with the mom, you kind of rush things. And it's like right now, everything that people were trying to say about being so caught up in the moment, in the 15 minutes, that now these are the things that are coming up that should have been talked about, should have been discussed, should have been brought forth before even kid kid number 8 came about, more or less so quick to tie the knot. Now there's things he's frustrated about and she's frustrated about. There are things that they need to work out. And there's nothing that could really break or wreck them. But these are things that probably should have been discussed because at the end of the day, you got kids involved. If they don't work out, this is another. Now she's going to be more upset because there's another man coming in that the kids get high hopes for, or in his case, another woman that got high hopes for, and now they're gone. And last but not least, if you've consistently worried about having someone, she's worried about someone having someone to hold her up and be there for her, for the kids not be hungry of sorts. At some point, you got to get that mentality. And like I said, she was working. And even hearing that made me wonder why she was so quick to quit her job, even though she's making her husband happy.
Right.
That if you was when you was reliant, that you was left in a bad situation, that you've been in a situation where the mom's even admitted she's had to sit here and pay rent, buy food and stuff for you. That you've got to become more self-sufficient until that time comes, and then y'all grow because anything you have adds where you can grow together. But that's something she's got to figure out, and it makes me hope that you're not just in love with what Michael has done or can do, but you're also in love, or that companionship, but that you're also in love with him as an individual.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. So I guess the only thing I would just add, I really like the karate thing because bullying, that stuff is like real, and you hear so much about kids like taking their lives because of bullying. So I'm glad he took the time, and then he didn't just, even though they made it clear like the reason they were doing it was because of the older son, but you preparing the daughter who's gonna go on her own as well
Hmm.
as the little one in case he encounters those situations. So I thought that
Right.
was pretty cool of him to do. At first I thought she was gonna get I was like, she better not put no suit on if she pregnant. But when her and the mom sat down, I was like, okay, cool. Just watch and take notes. Don't get in there. But I think that was real cool. And like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it was almost bad timing to have that breakdown because of what he was in the middle of doing. Like this dude is actually you can't do this participating, and this man is actually sitting here participating with your kids in jujitsu or karate, whatever it was, and then you're like, oh, I'm just so used to everybody just treating me bad and doing this, and it's like it's bad timing. Like maybe when he showed up late to the dinner, maybe, or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, it's bad timing because I don't even get that vibe from him. But I get why she's feeling that way. It's just odd timing at that moment to bring it up. And then, so when they were doing the construction jacket stuff, like, yeah, I don't know where they were coming from then, but maybe at that moment it was more suitable, but not while he was out there with your kids. You sitting there crying and junk. But I don't know. I still think that they are gonna be perfectly fine. Like to me, they're like a really good couple. So she just got to get over her, I guess, trust issues of a man like disrespecting or being treating her bad, and you know what I mean. He just gotta make sure he can provide, like he said. I think that'll be fine so far.
Yeah, I do too. All right, so the next couple, Sarah and Sean. Um, okay, so we see this, their scene opens up. She's putting on lingerie, and we see she has installed a sex swing in their room. I'm sorry. For me, there's just nothing sexy about Sean. I don't want to think about him. I don't, that's just something I didn't need to know that, whatever. But anyways, and so she calls Sean up. You know, she's wearing the sexy and lingerie. She gets into the swing, but he doesn't really seem interested. He's not interested in it. And and she does mention, I've called you up here. The baby is asleep. You know, right now is the time to do this. But he wants to go back downstairs and finish playing the game. So it turns out he was playing a game with his son. So at first I thought he was just playing the game with his friend. I was like, leave your friend, handle your wife right now. But then I was like, I guess that's a tough position to be in if you were playing a game with your child who isn't there, who's several states over, and your wife wants some sexy time. Like, who do you choose? I don't know. And so, okay. And so he ends up deciding to go back downstairs and finish playing the game. We can tell that she's visibly upset. She just climbs into the bed. And we later on find out that when she climbed back into the bed, she actually texted her old baby daddy. All right. And so the next day, we see her preparing Sean's lunch. And you can see there's tension between the two of them. He leaves. Her mom comes over to watch the baby, and she's getting dressed up to go run errands. We see she's getting a little extra dressed up. She's putting on lashes and full face of makeup. And her mom actually, she says something. She didn't go into it too deep, but she's like, "Yeah, you getting pretty dolled up, to go to the grocery store or whatever." And so Sarah leaves the house, and we see that she's actually going to go meet her baby daddy. So she's playing that game. Okay, I'm not getting attention from my husband, so let me reach out to my ex and get some attention there. Alrighty. And so we don't actually see the ex, but we see her going into a restaurant or cafe or something. And she's like, hey there, whatever. All right, so thoughts on Sean and Sarah this week?
Oh my gosh, that joint, that their scene made me so mad,
You
so
talking
mad.
about her in that sex swing? I got pissed too. Oh, excuse my language. I was like, I
No,
don't
it
want to
wasn't
see it.
even her. It was him for me. Like, well, first of all, I thought it was weird that like the baby was still right there though. Like, I like that's kind of weird. Like, if you gonna get on a sex swing, like this is gonna be some wild stuff. Like, the baby can't be in there for that. I know the baby, even if it woke up, won't understand. But I don't know. I feel
That
like,
is a bit wilding out with a baby in the room.
yeah, like I feel like sex swing and quiet sex don't go together. Like, if he was like, "Come on, get in the bed real quick and let's just real quick," then maybe.
Yes.
I
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see that when you put on a sex swing in. But the fact that she had on a cute little outfit and was sitting on the sex swing and he just was like, I'm playing the game. I was like, She only asked for a couple minutes, and probably if y'all ain't did that long, all you got is a couple minutes. So like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm imagining it only takes a couple minutes for Sean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I really believe like he could have gave her a little quickie real quick on the swing and moved on. Um, because just like, you know what I'm saying, like men complain that women won't give it up. They get married and they stop doing it and this and that and now she's boring. I only can get it once. Well, it got the same way. And then, you know, men can tend to stray if hey, you know, whether it's emotionally, physically, sexually, whatever, they can stray when you're not taking care of certain parts of home as well. So um I feel like he should keep that in mind. Um like it's rare when you see a woman begging for it and the man is like, I'm just gonna play game. Like I don't know. I guess I'm not. I ain't never really just seen that like that. But I also don't have kids, so I don't know. I don't know what that's like either. Because I'm sure, you know, it's probably times neither one of them because they're tired from the baby. But it's just one of them things where I felt like he just was being like real inconsiderate. And then even when he left the next morning, you know, grabbing the sandwich all crazy and leaving. I'm like, dude, she didn't have to do that for you. It ain't like you doing nothing for her. You know what I'm saying? You just wake up and breathe and pay some bills. Yeah, but I mean, it's more to a relationship than just paying the bills. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So you providing her with a place to live. You taking care of home, but you're not taking care of home because for the looks of it, he probably don't even help with the baby that much from the way it looks. I don't know how true it is, and I might just be assuming it, but every scene they show her with the baby, not him. So I don't know. I'm just like I'm disappointed because you know he was all excited like this is his chance to do it the right way this time and you know and he actually got married and then he was all like I didn't think marriage was gonna be this hard and blah 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 and this is just a lot. I'm like, dude, how old is he? Like 47, 48, 50? Like you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you was with oh girl for 20,000 years and y'all didn't get married. You knew your relationship wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? The other relationship I had with the other inmate wasn't easy. So you know, a marriage is not going to just be easy just because you like her. And then if you stop doing the things you were doing prior to as well, like then what's keeping her from wanting to go somewhere else? So I don't think it's right for her to go meet up with the baby daddy, other than for the fact of we she should have told her husband, but other than the fact of trying to get it to where he can actually see his daughter if she's really concerned about him seeing his daughter. Anything outside of that is unnecessary. I don't knock her for looking cute when she go because who wouldn't want to see their ex and come in like, bam, look at what you don't get. You know what I'm saying? Like who wouldn't want to feel that way? But she also made the point that they didn't break up because they ended things. They broke up because she went to jail. So and she just quit talking to him when she's in jail. So really, to even do that to him, now I take that back. That's not even cool because it ain't his fault that they broke up. So I don't know. My opinion is she's wrong for going in there just because she's having some issues at home. But at the same time, what was Sean expect when he's acting like a big giant kid? Which I feel like Kelly probably could have warned her that this is not no real man. Like you're not gonna get a
You know,
mature
Kelly
man.
tried to warn her, but she was like,
She
"I
didn't
know
want to
that
hear it.
Sean's a liar. I know," and she really wasn't
Oh
hearing.
yeah, yeah. And you already you know he's a liar. You know what I'm saying? You know his past, not like the way Kelly knows it, but even the little bit of time she's had with him, she's known how he is. You got 6 other kids that you ain't took care of. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that background on him, but he got 6 other kids with his baby mama. He got one baby mama, but 6 other kids with her, and he never married her. So and he has one daughter. So the older daughter, she felt all betrayed because he had a daughter, kind of like oh girl Justine's found her issue with the daughter and all that, like you know, you ain't here for me, but you're gonna be there for this one. But obviously, he's showing he really don't really care about being a dad. Other than the fun stuff, it seemed like you know he can play with his boys on the game, but that's fun for you too. So it's not even. Granted, yes, it's a good bonding thing, but what about your daughters? Are you still trying to make an effort with your older daughter? Are you being in this little one's life? Are you being a good stepdad like you said you're gonna do? Because obviously we see he's not being a good husband. Because I'm sorry, like if I put that outfit on and sit up and I didn't have my mama come put the swing up there. Come on now. And I climb on this thing as short as she is too. She didn't climb up on that swing and you just gonna leave her sitting there? Like Well, I'd have
If
been like,
there's
I'd
somebody
unscrewed
leave
it.
her there, she'll stay out of his hair. He can go
Look,
play.
I'd have unscrewed it and be like, well, I'll find somebody else who want to use this swing and walk right on out the house. I wouldn't have walked out the house because she was half naked because they had to blur her booty. But yeah, it just I don't know. I was very disappointed in him because ever since he's been with her, he's been like so into her, and now it's like he don't even care. And so what she said is legit. Like, so you got the baby, you got the wife, got the baby. Now you just feel like you don't have to try no more. And that's what it seemed like. But I ain't surprised. He owes sneaky Sean.
Well, here's how I see it. Now she set everything up, and that's good. If you're not having a spark no more, find a way to gain the spark. That's great. I probably might have would have checked to see what he was doing to make. I understand the baby was asleep. You see him on the game. There's no way to really know that he's actually playing with his son. And like Nene said, it's you get kind of caught in a situation that this is my child that I don't get to see that much, and I'm trying to do the right thing and spend a little time with him on the game. But then also my wife up here, I've been neglecting happy time, and and I don't know, maybe, and so he's got to take care of her. Now the way he handled it was terrible. Even if he was worried about his son, he could have still like, "Oh baby, you are so hot." Blah blah blah. You know what? Just give me 5 minutes to wrap it up and just be here. Just keep it warm, hot and ready. I'll be right back. Something instead of just being like, "Oh, well, I ain't got time for this." It's almost like get somebody else to do it, which later on seemed like she went to go do. But but his dryness with it all. I mean, I felt so bad for her because just as an individual, just as a woman, period. I know you like to feel appreciated. I mean, well, anybody, man or woman, but just to feel like the person that you love and you married to, now all of a sudden is looking at you like you sitting here basically in almost nothing but just you with a whole swing, and you're just like, yeah, okay, that's nice, but I'm tired. No reaction, no expression, nothing. I think
Yeah.
him him and Derek could be tied for like least wrong expressions for today for this episode. Um, so that was wrong on his part, and I understood she feel bad. Moving forward, so now she figures the best thing to do is to go see to get dolled up. Look like she's been dolled up more than she's probably been dolled up in a while. You should probably doll up at home, but in the same aspect, you should also make her feel special enough to want to doll up. You should say like, "Hey, let's have a dinner." If Mama can come and watch the baby to run to the store, Mama could run and watch the baby while we go have a night on the town or just a few hours to ourselves. Um, she knew why she was going over there. She was looking for attention and she went there and get it. And that's not the right way to get it, especially with an ex, because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me, is this not the same person that in the other season where the baby mama kept calling Sean and she was upset about like stand up to her, stand up to her.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't like it then, but you're about to make the same situation another situation now because now you're sitting here conversating with your other parent, child swap, and you're going with the intent of wanting that look, which is not right. Just like we say, there's no excuse for cheating. If she's this unhappy or whatever, then you work on what you need to work on. You can't
Right.
say you just can't say just because she didn't give me what I wanted. If it's wrong for a man to say, well, she didn't give me what I wanted, that's why I cheated, and it's wrong. You can't say because he didn't make me feel appreciated, that's the reason for me to go and cheat. Either way, just at that point, if it's that bad, if intimacy is that bad, if everything else doesn't compensate for that, then you realize that you shouldn't have made the decision in the first place. Because if wasn't like you said, if he wasn't there with the other 6 kids, how all of a sudden now he's supposed to be father of the year with this one?
Yeah, it is crazy because her behavior now has us defending Sean of all people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got me defending garbage.
But then, You know, with the baby mama thing though, or no, because the other one wasn't a baby mama. It was. Oh wait, you talking about how she was telling the Kelly like
Yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
yeah. Only thing I would say is I think her connecting her daughter with the father because she's never met her father. The daughter, she was like
Hmm.
6 years old,
Now,
somebody.
I can understand it from that aspect, but
Yeah,
if the next time
Hmm.
she meets up with him, she's not bringing the daughter, now that's something else going on here.
yeah, yeah,
Now, I
yeah,
get the first meeting
yeah,
if you don't bring your daughter because you want to go check out the scene.
yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah,
that. But if she doesn't continue or try to get them
yeah.
together, then there's something else going on.
And if she dress up again, because I'm like, I get it. Well, I don't know, because I feel like I wouldn't want to ever look like no bum, because I want you to feel like I'm doing way better anyways without you. But yeah, you're right. If she don't bring the daughter, then it's like, what are y'all doing? Because you could just talk on the phone. You don't need to be face to face without the daughter outside of that one meetup. But even then, like,
Hmm.
it's still gonna come off weird because you didn't even tell him about it. But
Now, when
maybe,
she goes, like if she takes the daughter and the next visit, she does need to tell Sean.
yeah,
She's wrong if she
Yeah.
don't tell Sean. Hmm.
You know, and it makes me wonder too, why are you taking it out of all the times, why are you taking the daughter now that you're not feeling embraced? It almost seems like you're using the daughter as a
yeah,
reason
she is,
Right.
she
to
is,
come in. So irregardless if the daughter goes or not, it's wrong because of the reasoning. If you're really going to do it, you should have sat down with your husband, Sean, and said, "Hey, I just want her. She should have a chance to really know her dad, and y'all discuss it and then do it." But getting beautified, I get you wanting to go there and see he still got it, but I mean, just on the flip, if he's going, let's say he was going to see his daughter's mom, and all of a sudden now he's throwing on the Versace shirt and the cologne and all this. You sitting there looking like, honey, you ain't dressing up like this when we go out. Why you doing it? Why
Or
you
if
doing it
he
to
go
see
get a
us here?
fresh haircut and then he wants to go visit his kids, like,
Right. You
you're
gonna be
about to
then you
bring
gonna sit there
all
like,
of, yeah, you're
I don't
about to
trust
bring all of my toxic traits out.
you.
but maybe this will get Sean to do what he need to do. Because I'm like, dude, you lucky you even got her. Chill
Yeah,
out.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so I think this was our last. No, it was one other couple. Okay, so next we had Puppy and Amber. All right, so as we know, Puppy and Amber are no longer an actual
And then
couple.
we did you skip Taylor and Chance when they on this one?
They're next. They're the last couple.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So they are both in relationships with other. They're with men now. Okay, so Puppy is with Eric, and Amber is with TC. Alrighty. So we see that Puppy and Amber they have met up. Puppy is discussing her and Eric and what has been going on. So Eric is still married. She's saying that his wife is making it difficult for the divorce to happen. And Amber talks about TC. It's so crazy to me. She's whenever she talks about TC and the fact that she has this abortion, she refers to the abortion as she lost the baby. I don't know if y'all caught that she was saying that.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't lose the baby, you terminated that pregnancy. And then two, she's always talking about how TC is so torn up about this baby. I'm not trying to say that he isn't, but
He wasn't supportive.
we haven't really seen that from
He
him.
wasn't supportive when it went down.
Yeah, he wasn't supportive in the way he was behaving the day that she had it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, to me it just seems a bit off. Okay, so Amber and Puppy they've had several drinks. So Amber calls TC and asks him to come pick her up. And so Puppy is kind of joking around, but then I think she kind of wasn't and was saying that she was going to go with Amber and TC and she was going to sleep on the couch. Well, TC said some kind of little slick remark, which you could tell it hurt Puppy's feelings. Because, like, dang, your dude doesn't like me, your dude doesn't want me at y'all's house. And so TC actually shows up, and when TC shows up, Puppy is like, I know you don't like me, but I want you to start liking me. And TC, he's still kind of standoffish with her. And so oh, and then Puppy says, you know, we're not drug dealers, right? Me and Eric, we're not drug dealers. And he doesn't really respond. I don't remember if he responded. I don't think he did.
Mm-hmm.
But him and Amber actually ended up leaving. And once they're at home, you know, Amber kind of brings up TC's disposition towards Amber. And she's like, I mean, towards Puppy. And she's like, you know, I want you to like Puppy. And he was like, "Weren't you just saying that they're drug dealers?" And Amber's like, "That's not what I said." And he's like, "That's exactly what you said." And they actually end up getting into an argument over this. Ladies, word of advice: don't talk about your friends to your man. I know, it's easy to do, and you want to do it sometimes because you want to talk, but your man can take on this whole other ideal of who your friend is and treat that person that way, you know. So my thing is, and I was going to ask you guys, um, do you think she really did tell TC that Eric and Puppy are drug dealers? And then did y'all also catch when she was like, because they were getting into it, she was like, cut the cameras. Y'all can leave when you cut them. And he's like, and you can leave with them. And she's like, I pay bills here. I'm not leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thoughts. Tell me, do you think that
Mm-hmm.
Amber
I think
really
so.
did tell TC that they were drug dealers?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Like,
do
and
Yeah.
too.
maybe
I
she knows
believe.
something that Puppy told her.
Yeah, and she got mad because he repeated it while the cameras was rolling,
And he
and
was
that
wrong for that.
could potentially stir up a charge.
He wrong for that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what
Because
he
that is
told.
somebody's life. Like you shouldn't he
Yeah,
shouldn't have done that on camera. He
right,
should not have done that.
right. If he wanted to tell her offline, that's another thing. But on
Yeah.
camera,
Because he could have kicked the camera crew out and been like, didn't you say that they drug dealers and you sitting here want to hang out with them?
yeah. But
Yeah.
instead, he's sitting there arguing with her with the cameras rolling. So now it definitely looks like that's what she said to. That's what you said to him.
Yeah.
And why
And
would
it
you
really
say that to him if there was no truth behind it?
is true. And I think just in the heat of argument, you're not think like when things happen, you're not thinking about what's there, what's going on, the consequence. At that point, you're just upset. And you can, especially being on TV, you can't exactly do that. Like that whole argument and how far it went to me went too far. You know, you're on TV, you know what's
Yeah,
going on, but they both lost their cool and they both said things they shouldn't have said. And the only thing is the part that he said could be very detrimental
right.
in the heat. But I'm pretty sure if you asked him later on, he'll probably say, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that," because now you're calm. But when you're upset, you're not rationalizing.
Hmm.
He's dead wrong.
Oh, and then the other question I have for you guys: she terminated this pregnancy due to her liver issues, but we saw her throwing back quite a few drinks.
What she said is not because of the alcohol that she had liver issues.
No,
Okay.
I thought she said that they told her she can keep doing what she was doing,
Yeah.
which to me doesn't say, because I don't see any doctor in the world, whether you got a healthy liver or not, going to tell you go ahead and keep drinking.
Right.
So I don't think that's what the doctor. I think they just meant that you could live your life like you was, but I don't think they're sitting there saying go ahead and continue being an alcoholic.
Or
Yeah.
maybe
Or
her
not.
liver was looking better, so they think she's doing something good. So they like keep doing what you're doing because obviously you're doing something right, but obviously alcohol's not gonna be right for the liver.
Mm-hmm. And I can
So
understand on his part, being you're looking at, you see your wife, you already got the scare that you could have lost her because of, your liver and having a baby. So I gave up the baby because I was more concerned about keeping you. And now you're drinking. So now I guess I am on guard. I'm going to look at you more carefully because I don't want to lose you. So I get that too. But
I don't know. It like I don't. I'm kind of torn on how he should react because it's like if he really don't like Puppy, and to me he has a legit reason not to like her because that's somebody who was with my girlfriend in her criminal past, and I don't want something that could trigger her. And there's also an ex lover. Like, granted, they're both in relationships, but I can understand to an extent why he wouldn't want to be friends with her. Period. Plus, when they got into the fight the first time he met Puppy?
I think so.
Yeah,
mhm.
so it wasn't a good look the first meeting either.
But that meeting and that whole fight, and I still don't like that they keep doing that.
Because it was old girl fault.
Amber did that because
Yeah,
Amber never should have called that guy's wife.
yeah, yeah,
And she never should have put her hands on Puppy, especially since
yeah.
she knew Puppy was
Puppy
expecting.
pregnant. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I
But
don't
it's
like
I'm
they
saying
keep
as
pushing
far as
this
like
story. Yeah.
you seeing your girlfriend fighting her ex, And it's like, this chick is toxic for you. Why do you even want to be friends with her? Even though we know they like best friends and they legit kind of keep each other out of trouble in a sense sometimes. Um, and I think if anybody, Puppy needs Amber more than anything because Amber's more sober minded. As far as like she's a little bit more put together, as far as I don't think Amber is gonna do anything intentionally to go back to jail, and Puppy still makes silly mistakes, even though she doesn't want to go back either. But it's kind of hard because it's like saying like you can't have this person who you consider your best friend, but at the same time, there's legit reasons why he don't like her. So I'm kind of torn on what Amber should even do because that's a hard one right there because that is her best friend.
Mhm.
And that's a tough one. And then as far as she probably was saying, like she probably was upset at Puppy, venting to him, like, oh my God, I can't believe she would do something so stupid. Like, because I could just see her being that way. Like, how could she do something so stupid? And they were selling drugs knowing that she's on parole and blah, blah, blah. She shouldn't be doing that. But never for him to throw it back in her face. And for Puppy to say Amber must have told her, like, I accidentally slipped up and said that inventing, or I said this, and that's one of the reasons he's funny acting. Like, I don't know, because I don't know how Puppy knew. Obviously, Amber told him, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough situation right there. Their situation is like crazy. That's tough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even go back to the bar. I disagree with Amber because I understand this is your best friend, but you live in a household with your husband. You just can't decide for yourself that your friends can come over and just stay the night at the house. That's something that y'all should actually discuss. The same with him. Especially if it's not immediate family. I don't care much of a friend this is of yours, but knowing this is also a friend that did not have the most positive past, and my husband and my best friend don't exactly get along. That's just introducing a lot, and that's why he even said when they got there that, hey, you I would have been really upset if you'd have pushed that on me. He didn't have a right to be upset. And I don't agree with Puppy because Puppy was like, well, and tried to use the thing of, well, when you got out, I'll let you stay at my mom's when I was locked up. That's a totally different scenario between your mama and
And
somebody
your man.
and your
Mhm.
man. Big thing. Because at the end of the day, your man is supposed to be your best friend at the end. And sometimes you have to realize, no matter how well you know someone or how long you know someone, sometimes your best friend is not your best friend.
Yeah.
And I would really be worried if I stuck with you through thick and thin to where you got out and trying to get you on the level of up and up. I'm going to be afraid that if you're around the wrong people, you will relapse. And you'll hear even in the commentaries when Amber will talk and say, "Hey, I know my husband's doing this. I know Puppy does this, but she's my friend. She does this, but she's my friend." If you got to keep saying so many buts, at some point you just got to own up and be like, I can't progress. I can't keep moving forward if I got to keep reaching back. And as her husband, he's not obligated. He's doing his best, but he's not obligated to uplift two people. And he's not and if the wife can't, if Amber can't understand that my husband is supposed to be the one, and he's actually doing the positive things for me, where getting me straight, place, whole nine. I think that the choice would be obvious to me. I'm not in it, so it's not as hard, but I understand everybody and I've had to learn recently, everybody has to make their own choices, whether they're good or bad. And all you can do is just sit there by them. And whenever it happens, just whatever happens and just pray whatever happens. But when you're married, it's not as simple
They're
to
not
walk away.
married though. They're not married.
I mean, but they're living together. So to me, that's like, and they're not and you're right, they're not married, but you're still basically in the same house, common law married, and he has done a lot to help her from where she was to where she is now. That's vesting in someone. You don't want to feel like you vested and they're still going to keep doing the same things. And then it got quiet.
Well, I think I well, because she hasn't been with him, but she's been with him for a while. But I think her progress wasn't with him though. Like it's been with other people. But she's doing well with him. Um,
Right.
because she's in a happy relationship. But I
Mm-hmm.
think like I don't know because of just knowing like their history because they've been in a couple relationships actually outside of themselves that
Mm-hmm.
they've been each other's backbone through it all, and it's like I don't know. I just feel bad like if she has to completely cut puppy off because that is like one of her best friends.
Yeah, and then I think also with them, I think the lines get blurred because they were once in a relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
you could tell that Puppy still cares about Amber in a way where if Amber wanted to be gay again and mess with Puppy, she could have Puppy. But the issue is that Amber doesn't want to be gay anymore, and Amber doesn't like Puppy in that manner. So Puppy will go on the limb for Amber in a way that Amber will not go on the limb for Puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very true. That brings another element too, is that, you know, you're in a relationship with Amber. Your best friend is also someone that still loves you and still may want to be with you. And so it's like I'm supposed to be accepting of the best friend that also still has feelings for you beyond that. And just along with the other things that come along, that's asking a lot of someone.
Hmm.
That at some point you do have to make that choice. You can't have the best friend because you've known them for so long and they still have that, and they still act and have the feeling of, hey, to be there. I mean, so what if she did stay there tonight and they had both been drinking, especially Puppy had been drinking? Who's to say at some point she go Amber go downstairs while he's sleep and don't sit there and kiss on the forehead or whatever, you know, especially when you're intoxicated, you don't know.
Well, Amber
So
did do that to Puppy once when Puppy was she stayed at Puppy's. Was it Puppy's
right.
house she stayed at, or Puppy stayed at hers, and she was like kind of
I
coming
can't
on.
remember how it went, but
But
yeah,
Puppy
it's.
was the one who wasn't that drunk. Remember, Amber was
Hmm.
passed out on Puppy.
Hmm.
So now
Yeah,
you got.
because
It goes back and
Amber
forward.
will get drunk and come
Hmm.
on to Puppy,
Yeah.
but it's almost like, but she keeps trying to push it like, well, I was just gay for the stay kind of mentality.
Right.
But we know, I mean, Puppy wants
DJ.
more. You know, Puppy, like she said, I let you go to my mom's house and parole there, and I was still in prison because that was your woman, Puppy. Now this is
Right.
your friend, so you got to cut that off. But she still wants Amber to reciprocate as if.
Well, I think she wants her to have the same, and I don't even know if I would say it's so much as because, like, I really think she loves Eric too because she wouldn't just keep putting up with it. I
Yeah,
think she does want to be with somebody, so she puts up more than she
Hmm.
probably would want to. But to me, Puppy's pretty. She could go find somebody else if she really wanted
yeah.
to. Um,
Right.
but I think like she just wants that same. She wants to feel that even if she don't need to come there, Amber has been at her house when Eric didn't want Amber there, but
Hmm.
Puppy
Hmm.
risked it and let Amber come there because she had been drinking and stuff. And then Puppy let Amber crash with her mom when what I'm saying she was still in jail or whatever. But it's like now it's like okay, you can crash at my place. And actually Amber was brought it when they brought it up at first. And then Puppy
Hmm.
was like, "Yeah, I crashed there." And then she mentioned it. And when TC made that weird comment, then she kind of didn't say nothing else about it. And so I give Puppy her props for trying to still be like, "Hey, we're friends. It's not like that. I'm happy for y'all. Like, I want y'all to be good because I want my friend happy." And she was like, so I'm gonna be here, and I'm getting on your nerves until you like me, type stuff. I give her props that she actually really even tried because at that point, I feel like the way that dude was, I'd have been like, you know what, we can be friends outside of your relationship. I don't want nothing to do with that. And just like he don't want nothing to do with their friendship. Like he don't mind if they friends, just don't bring her to her house and involve him.
Hmm.
Might just be one of them things where friends that can't be friends. Because I mean, neither boyfriend likes the other one, so
Right. And there's so much behind it. There's so much like toxicity along with it. I mean, let's just flip it. Let's say Eric had an ex that he's friends with. That's a woman, you know, that he's been intimate with. Like, oh well, you know, she got a flat tire. Let her stay at the house. Amber's not gonna be comfortable with that.
I guess it's different when you talk about gay women or lesbians and versus like a man. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know. I think it's like one of them things that people can look past it a little bit more.
Well, I think is if it's somebody that wants to be in, that you've had relations with and want to be, or even want to be with, or had or have dated, or they still want you, whether it's gay or straight, it's still somebody else that doesn't fully honor the sanctity of my relationship with you, and would still try to do things with you that would be considered cheating amongst us, whether it
It
be
would
another.
be Amber probably the one that would initiate this. Because I feel like Puppy doesn't do anything unless Amber does.
Well,
Like,
that's
because
still
she might say little
temptation,
things, but she doesn't. Amber is the one to me that's the more flirtatious one when they drink. Puppy's
right?
just like, to me, Puppy really acts like her best friend.
But that's like even if, let's say, I'm sitting here at my house with my wife and or my girl or whatever, and Morris Chestnut like, well, let me stay tonight. She's probably gonna be the one that my wife will want to probably initiate it, so I'm not gonna let him stay at the house.
That's
you
different.
know.
Just a celebrity.
So I mean,
Now she best friends with
relationships,
Morris Chestnut, and she like, I don't like that dude. He whack. Then I don't
right?
know.
But see, regardless of, it's a matter of not who it is, but just relation, and the relationship should be respected regardless by either the person you're with or the friend. And if they still have these things and you don't feel comfortable, I would have to respect what makes whom I'm in the relationship with feel comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, this is a
Right.
tough one.
All right. So our last couple was Chance and Taylor. All right. So the scene opens up. They're discussing their finances. Well, actually, the scene originally starts out. We see Chance is checking the balance on all his credit cards. So he's either over the limit or he barely has any balance if he has a balance. Right. All right. And we see. So Taylor says she's going to go into the bedroom to go put together the baby's crib. And he goes into the bathroom, pulls out a box that he secretly has his bills in. Now, I was just wondering, I was like, is there really a secret spot underneath the bathroom sink to hide your bills? Is that a good hiding place now? And I don't know. So anyway, so he whips out his bills, he puts them away, and he goes into the room with Taylor, quote unquote, to help her put together this crib. Um, they kind of start talking. You can tell he's not in the mood to help, and she's just kind of bugging him to help her out with this crib. Alrighty, and so he gets a phone call that he ignores. I think it's a bill collector.
Yeah,
That's what I pretty much
yeah,
thought it was.
yeah.
And he didn't answer the phone call. And when she asked him about it, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that number." Then he was like, "Oh, that was one of my friends." And she's like, "Which friend?" But he never, he's just going all of dancing around. He won't answer who it was. He won't call back who it was or anything like that. That's kind of where their scenes basically ended this week. What was your thoughts on Taylor and Chance?
What it just said, that's a freaking telemarketer. I'm like, see, it's not a saved number. It's not. It's
Yeah,
a
look,
telemarketer.
it's scam likely. There we
Yeah,
go.
Yes.
because I'm like, legit. If it's creditors, like to me, to say I don't know the number, it was a friend. That's not like you're lying. Now, mind you,
Right.
you're lying because you're saying you don't know who it was, but you're not lying by saying you don't know who it was. It's a bill collector. I don't know them personally. I just know they trying to get their money, and I ain't answering. You know what I'm saying? But to say it was a friend and then to say, or I don't know who it was, and then it's a friend sounds sneaky. So it sounded like, oh, you hiding a girl or something. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing that to me anybody would just naturally think. Like, wait, you say you don't know who it was that called, but now you're saying it's a friend, but you want to tell me who it is. But like she said, my phone ring, you would see my phone, you know what I'm saying, and I would show you or whatever, but you won't even let me see who that was. So my thing is like, I don't know. I feel like that was a stupid answer, and you're right. Like that's a stupid hiding place too, because I mean, does she not keep anything on there? Only he keeps his stuff
Does
under the
she
sink.
not clean the bathroom? How did she not
I
see
mean, I
this
guess it
type of
depends if
stuff?
the cleaning supplies are somewhere else. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe under the sink is his area. I don't know. But well, actually, didn't he take that box from somewhere in the room and she kind of hid it and took it
Yeah,
into the
I was about to
bathroom?
say, I thought he grabbed something, grabbed out the closet.
Yeah, and he took it into
Okay,
the
I didn't
bathroom.
see that he took it in there. I just saw
Yeah,
him
he
in the
grabbed
bathroom.
something and then he kind of like, I want to take a bath, and like he put his clothes over it or something. But
Yeah.
the part that got me was like the fake shower. Why not just jump in there since you in there? Like it look like he wet his hair in the sink, right? To look like he
Yeah,
took a shower. Like just jump in
yeah,
there and jump, like rinse off and jump back out. Cause I feel like if you come back in like you took a shower and you stink or something, it's gonna be like, well, okay, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to
Yeah.
help me. You taking fake showers. You won't tell me who's on the phone. What's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just too much, too much. So I don't know. He was being real rude. I mean, real weird for it to just be bill collectors. But I really believe that's what it was, bill collectors.
yeah. Um, Now, before I put my foot in my mouth again, they're married.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm. Oh wait, no, they're engaged. They're
They're
engaged.
engaged. Okay, well, you're engaged. If you have family bills, you have bills that are together that affects the both of you, and child on the way. Before we even talk about the money, the fact that she's sitting there being the one to put the crib and stuff together, but that she's initiating it is like no, unless she was just being extra quick about it and not giving him a chance to do it. That's one thing, but and then to do it together, that's something you should want to share together. I'd love to have the moment that me and you know my child's mom to be we sitting there doing stuff together. I'm not making her do stuff or to hand me screws or something, but that's just to me that's just a moment. And you just and another person just brushed it off like it was nothing. Why you want to do this? Here, flip this. Here,
Yeah.
it was just so that there's terrible. And it just shows you just got piss poor financing because like he looked and said, "Oh, I can't make these bills." Well, this is something y'all need to discuss because it seems like this has happened. I don't know, but it seems like it's something that's happened more than once, and you're
She
leaving her in
didn't
the
want him to do all of this, get all those credit cards, get that vehicle. She didn't want any of
hmm
that. She tried to talk him out of it.
Mhm.
and see, and this is where it's all coming to. Because well, listen, now that you're engaged, you decide to get married. Now you inherit all of that,
Well, and that's what she said. When he went and bought
and
a new truck, got rims. It's like you don't need to do. It's like he wanted to buy a new house too. They wouldn't even been able to afford it.
That's that's crazy. So yeah, no, he gets a thumbs down from me because if you acting like this before the kid gets here, oh my gosh, y'all he gonna be the same person that have a 3-year-old with a cable bill in the name.
Yes. And then also another backstory to him, he's also a bank robber.
Okay, yeah, no, he is scam likely.
He is the scam like that. I hear you. Okay. So, Reese, did we get your input for this one? I don't want to skip anybody.
Didn't I? I think I did. Yeah. So I like he being weird with the shower and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the show this week. Catch us next week for the next episode of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. I'm sorry, this one is Life After Lockup. Thank you for stopping by. If you've lasted this long, you are a true MVP. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.